Hi, I'm Lynn Band Candy. I am here with David Ellefson. We are in Hawthorn, New Jersey.
Yes.
Didn't know that last time when we were in PA HorrorCon and
last time I think I saw you was a Chiller or something.
NAMM. Like we've done some interviews. You're my third video here.
Okay.
The only one I've done 3 interviews with. So,
wow.
So that's pretty cool. And now it's come full circle with your Nick Menza documentary here
that we just showed.
Yeah, and I just got to watch it. I loved it. I think that you put your heart into it. You did a really good job. You've talked to me about it over the years, and I really liked it a lot. It's very sad in the end, so I think I'm feeling a little bit of that now too. But
it's hard, isn't it? You know, when we did it last week in Hollywood, we did the premiere in LA. And here it's like, then to get up and talk about it and do the Q&A after. I just want to sit in my seat. It's almost like being at a funeral in a way, where you just want to sit with the heavy feelings.
Yeah.
Yet it's joyful because you get to see Nick basically say goodbye.
Yeah.
As the moment fades and the credits roll. But. I feel the same way. Like I think you laugh, you rock, you cry.
Yeah, that's kind of what documentaries kind of do to you. But I was a big fan, very young. Like when that album came out for Countdown to Extinction, when that came out, I was in like the roughest time period of my life.
Okay.
And so playing that, blasting it, the CD. Which I think I got maybe for like 1 cent on like the Columbia thing. So you guys probably didn't make any money off of me with that one. I think a lot of people did that. You might have made a half a cent.
I used to buy those too. You'd buy
like that, right?
You'd get on the farm in Minnesota. You'd get like these
like my dog
13 records for 1 cent, and then you have to buy like 12 more for like double the price.
I did it with my pets' names and stuff, and I got like basically most of my CD collection off it. None of the bands making any money off of them, which was sorry about that to every band out there.
Yeah, thank you.
But I would blast it in my room, and there was just something about
What song? Is there a song on Countdown?
This Was My Life. It was I was going through a tough time period in my life, and that album and it was funny because my mom wouldn't tell me to turn that one down.
Wow.
It was something about the music. She was like, "That's good music." My mom went to a few concerts with me and stuff, but just and then watching it and then seeing the drums and seeing how much was really into it. It was just a really cool documentary, and I was glad that you invited me to it. I'm glad we got to see it. I brought my husband with me, so he got to see it.
It's funny that at that Chiller Theater where we met in 2021, I was recently just out of Megadeth. Megadeth had just come through the area, and people were bringing me Killing Is My Business records left and right in enormous amounts, more than most appearances that I'd been at. And that was where I got the idea to start Kings of Thrash. Was at Chiller.
Wow.
At Chiller at that event. I came home. I called Chris Poland. I said, "Dude, we got to go out and play Killing and Peace Cells." And he agreed, and then he kind of pulled back. He went, "What, am I crazy? Why would I do that?" And so, ironically, Jeff Young and I got connected a couple months after that. In January 2022, what you see in the movie, me and Jeff sitting there at the recording console talking. He actually helped secure that location for us, where we did most of the interviews that you see in the movie were done in that facility that day. And that night, Jeff and I said, "Hey, you want to go over to the Rainbow in Hollywood and go grab a bite to eat?" So we did. So a bunch of us went over and we hung out. And right as we were saying goodbye, he started humming a riff that he had from 1988 that as we were writing songs that would become Rust in Peace, basically. He had this riff and he started humming. I go, "Dude, I totally remember that riff." And so we went in the studio with Mike Heller, who plays drums in the Lucid, in April, just a few months after that, and we recorded some material. And then we played a show at the Whiskey. It was a tribute to the Big Four, and they invited me and Jeff to jump up on stage and play, so we did in that form. That was Kings of Thrash. So it's like the intention started at Chiller. Then the next thing happened with the Nick Menza film. Then we went in the studio.
I got to meet Chris and Jeff and interview them at a Chiller that you weren't at. So
I know that one.
I
know that one. I was somewhere else.
Now. They were really cool.
So it's funny how, in fact, today just somebody asked me, said, "Give me like a quote," And I love that Yes Man movie with Jim Carrey, and my friend Al Petrelli always said, "Just say yes, just say yes." And I always say that, just say yes, because you never know what's on the other side of just say yes. Just get in the room, be where the action is, because you never know what's going to come out of that, you know. And so it's funny. Chiller, I'd never done Chiller.
Chiller's fun.
Yeah, I've heard everybody talk about it.
Again,
Eddie Trunk was talking about it. He hadn't been there right before either, and he was excited to go.
Don
This
Jameson
a few years
was there
ago.
last time. We were both guests again.
Yeah.
But when you left Megadeth that day, I was actually in the hospital because I had my car accident. I almost died on my way to work, and I'm in the hospital scrolling on my phone, COVID time period, and I saw that. You know, I saw it posted, and I was like, wow, it was a shitty day for both of us.
Right.
But we both moved past it, and you've done so much since then.
Yeah.
You just don't stop in it. Like, you're an inspiration to a lot of musicians out there.
Thank you.
Just, you know.
Well, I think. Thank you for that. I'm sorry for your accident.
I would love to. So I know. Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have left Megadeth. You wouldn't have had your accident.
I don't know. Who knows?
But you know, it's interesting. Kind of what Nick said at the end of the film. I just have to be free. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, I think even for Nick, as he transitioned out of Megadeth, he became free. You know. And, you know, sometimes musical partnerships last a lifetime. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're on, they're off, they're on, they're off, which is kind of, I guess, what mine has been with Megadeth.
Are you gonna go back? I saw Megadeth in September. I was messaging you while I was there, and I'm like, damn, I wish you were on the stage. My husband opened up the show, which was it was a great show.
Yeah.
My kids got to see it. My son is not a big rock and roll person, and he liked it. Yeah. And so even in the car now, he's like he liked it. He likes the music.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's we all love the Megadeth music.
Yeah.
You know that there's no arguing that, right? and
that kind of taught me like the heavy music, because you know it was kind of like. You know, the 80s music, and I mean, I liked Quiet Riot and Twisted Sister, all those bands, but Megadeth, when I discovered them, which was my high school friends at like the drinking beer keg parties where everybody's all fucked up, is when I discovered Megadeth. You know, because that's when it was playing.
Tell Mom.
They would all go crazy. I got caught. Trust me, that was during the rough time period. I got busted, you know. But no, the music, it's just a band that I've always loved, and I still make money off of it, dancing on stage to it all the time. You still get plenty of play on it.
Well, at least we could do that much for you.
But thank you so much. I'm glad to interview and see you again.
Yeah, great to see you again.
It's awesome that you did this.
Yeah, thank you for
it was
coming
really
out.
good. I think everyone's going to really, really like it. And they're going to feel whatever we're all feeling, which is it is sad. It's like
it definitely has impact. You know,
he's
Nick,
too young. It's very young. I'm going to be 49 in a couple weeks, and Disease 51 is just so young. But just not enough time. But he had a full life, which is great, and I got to meet his son and interview him, which was really cool. I was glad that you had him here. What a sweet kid.
He's a wonderful.
He was like plays a guy, but you know he was very cool.
Yeah,
so, well, thank you.
Good.
We'll see you again. Who knows where? We could be anywhere.
Somewhere.
All right.
Probably in New Jersey.
Probably in New Jersey. Bye.
Bye.